Hey guys, it's Jordan. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about epilepsy and specifically what to expect when pregnant with epilepsy. This is something that I always wondered about, but I really didn't have any answers to it. This is just a disclaimer that this is just general information that I have learned from my doctors, my neurologist, and gynecologist. Each person is completely different though and has a different situation, so definitely consult your doctor, but I just want to put out there what I have learned because I had no idea what to expect. It's still very important to know what to do before you're even trying to get pregnant, because it can be very critical on you and the baby. So just some background information on me before we get started. I've been on medication for 10 years. I was diagnosed when I was 14 with epilepsy. I've been taking Keppra the whole time, which we'll get into the medication side of things a little bit later, like what you should be on, what not to be on. I want to start off with the number one most important thing to know when pregnant with epilepsy is to not go off your medication. There's a lot of ladies that come up to me and say, well, you can always try to go off your medication and just see what happens. No, I'm not doing that. No. And this is why. I'm going to tell you just a little bit of a tragic story. So one of my neurologists told me a story of why it's so important to stay on your medication when you're trying to get pregnant, or if you are pregnant. My neurologist had just moved to Texas a few years ago, and her neighbor was this lady. She had a 3-year-old boy, and she was wanting to get pregnant again with her second child. Well, my neurologist was not aware that she had epilepsy, or she would have warned her, but the neighbor lady decided that she felt it was best and wanted to go off of her medication. So she went off of her medication, her anti-seizure medication, so that she could start trying to have a baby. And there's one day she was taking a shower, and since she wasn't on her medication, she had a seizure. She fell onto the drain and clogged up the drain, and the water backed up, and she drowned and passed away. And now her 3-year-old has to grow up without a mom. And all of that she could have been saved if she would have just been more educated on the importance of staying on your medication. It's just not worth it at all to go off. That is number one. Do not go off your medication. If anything, if it really bothers you, you can talk to your doctor about trying to lower your dose. But this leads into my second thing. When you are a lady with epilepsy and you're trying to get pregnant, you can't just have oh my gosh, like, I'm pregnant, I had no idea, I'm a couple weeks pregnant, what a surprise, like, oh, this wasn't planned. No, you can't do that. We do not have the joy of having unexpected pregnancies and being thrilled about it. We can't. This has to be a very planned thing. If you didn't know, anti-seizure medication decreases our folic acid, which means ladies with epilepsy have a higher risk of delivering a baby with the neurological defects, such as spina bifida being the big one. So with that, you have to be very proactive in knowing, okay, I want to try to get pregnant. You need to let your doctors know. They need to estimate how much anti-seizure medication you should be on and how much extra folic acid you should take. I was telling my doctor that, I'm not planning on having kids soon, but should I start taking folic acid just cause? And she said, yes, I was actually going to tell you you don't plan on having kids for 4 years or so, but still take folic acid, just go ahead and take it, and that way it can build up in your system, you get used to it. But she did say, regular pregnant ladies with no epilepsy do have to take a small dose of folic acid because it helps the baby develop normally with no neurological defects. Well, because our anti-seizure medication decreases our folic acid, she told me that we would have to take 8 times the amount that a regular pregnant lady would have to take. So it's just so important to be prepared. You have to be prepared. And that leads me into birth control. I've been on birth control for about almost 4 years, I believe. And I did see a video of a lady saying random facts about people with epilepsy. Number 1, you can't take birth control. Yes, you can, because I'm on it and I've had no problems whatsoever. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it was her specific medication, anti-seizure medication she was on. She couldn't take birth control, but I take birth control, it's fine. I mean, they did do a little test with Keppra, that's what I'm on, my Keppra and Loloestrin, that's the birth control I'm on. They tested it just to make sure that they go together well and there's no bad reaction. And I've been fine, I've been great. And if I was a married lady that did not have epilepsy, I think I probably would go off birth control, just not because I want a baby right now, but because, just like get my body in sync, regular periods, and just, sync up my body, get it back in its natural rhythm. But because I have epilepsy, I don't ever want to risk being pregnant and not taking the proper precautions, and it's just a risk I'm not willing to take. So I won't go off birth control until I know that, okay, we are ready, we want to have a baby, and we're ready to take the steps that we need to take. One thing that does scare me, I will say, about being pregnant is having a seizure. I plan on, staying on my medication, and my medication's been great. I haven't had a seizure unless I forget to take my medication, which is another thing. That's a whole reason why it's so important to stay on it for me, especially because I know if I don't take it, I will have one. But even though I am on my medication, I worry that I'm still gonna have a seizure because becoming pregnant is such a big change in your body, and as we all may know, having a fever can heighten your chance of having a seizure because it's a change in your body. Right before you start your period can cause a seizure because a change in your body. So becoming pregnant, a big change in your body. I honestly feel like I'm not even gonna want to work, I'm not gonna want to drive, I'm just gonna be too scared to even do anything. I'm just gonna want to live in a small little bubble, just for the safety of me and the baby. I'm just, that's what I worry about the most, honestly. And also, after I give birth, I'm a little scared again because my body will be changing, hormones raging. I'm a little scared I will have a seizure then. I'm just like, should I hold the baby? Like, I don't want to walk around and hold the baby. And what if I have a seizure while I'm holding it? Like, there's just so many things that go on in my mind that I am just terrified of. So this leads me into my next topic, is what medications are safe while pregnant with epilepsy. I am fortunately on Keppra, which is one of the most popular medications and safest medications to be on while pregnant. When I was first diagnosed with epilepsy, I was 14, obviously not thinking about kids anytime soon, but my neurologist figured, you're a girl, I'm gonna assume that you want to have kids in the future, So I'm gonna put you on this because it's very safe, and you won't have to switch medications in the future. So this whole time I've been thinking, oh great, like I don't have to worry about anything, I don't have to switch my medication, I'm golden. Well, a few months ago when I had like my checkup with my neurologist, my yearly checkup, we were talking about how I was married and kids, and I was like, yeah, but I'm just so happy I'm not gonna have to switch my medication. And she was like, no, actually, you're not on the right medication. And I was like, wait, what? And she said, Lamictal is actually what you should be on. That's the best one. So I was really bummed because I don't want to switch my medication. I'm still taking Keppra. And when I look it up, there's nothing about Lamictal being better. I think Keppra and Lamictal are kind of like at the same level on safeness. I mean, Keppra says it has a 2% chance of you having a baby with a birth defect, which is really good, I think. So, and I have a friend that works on labor and delivery. She's a nurse, and she says that she's seen patients that take Keppra and their babies are perfectly healthy. And so if you have any information about Lamictal and how it's better, I guess just leave in the comments, because I'm very interested, because I do not want to change my medication at all. And she was a nurse practitioner that told me this. She made it seem like it wasn't a big deal, like, oh yeah, we'll just change it, whatever. And like she seemed very knowledgeable, but I don't want to change medications. I just don't want to. I've done so good with Keppra. I have no side effects. It works, and I'm just scared that Lamictal's not going to have the same effect on me. And I'm scared that, I'm going to start taking Lamictal, everything's going to seem fine, and then I'm driving, and then I have a seizure, or, I work with special needs kids. I'm going to be working with them and have a seizure, and so I don't know. Right now I feel like I'm just going to stay on Keppra, but if I find out, Kepra's just no good anymore, then I guess I'm going to have to change to Lamictal for the safety of my baby and me. And also, when it comes to having the baby, I was thinking that, stress also stress can also trigger a seizure. So I was thinking, maybe it would be safer if I had a C-section. And, I didn't know if the pain and the stress of delivering naturally would cause me to go into seizure during labor. But my neurologist said that she's had many patients that have had their babies naturally and everything's fine and no seizure was triggered, so we'll just have to see what happens. So I hope that this video has helped as many people as it can, or educated some women like me who had no idea what to expect. I'm such a planner, so I'm so glad that I know this now. I am on Keppra. I'm also taking low estrogen for my birth control, and I'm taking 2,400 mcg of folic acid, just to get it in my system. And I'm taking 3 little tablets when you're supposed to take 1, but I just figured my anti-seizure medication decreases my folic acid anyways, so taking 3 can't be that bad. I'm gonna have to take even more when I'm pregnant, so that's what I'm taking. So once again, I hope this was helpful for somebody out there. If I missed anything or any questions, leave in the comments below, and I might end up having to make another video covering those. But yeah, I just want to put this out there to help some people, because I felt very lost. I didn't know what to expect, and really, knowing all the information I know now, it doesn't seem as bad. I'm hopefully not gonna switch my medications, and increasing my folic acid should be good. Also, I believe when you are pregnant and you have epilepsy, you are just automatically considered a high-risk pregnancy. They're going to, I believe, at least in the beginning, come in every week to get checked to see how the baby is developing, because the first couple of weeks are the most critical and important, at least the first trimester. After that, I feel like it's a little bit more smooth sailing. That's what they make it sound like. And then a lot of testing to make sure that the baby has developed correctly. More testing than what a regular lady would need. Another disclaimer, I'm not pregnant right now, but I plan to be in the near future, maybe a couple of years. I am married. We're looking to buy a house first, get a dog, but eventually the time will come when we want to have babies, and I hope that this can help some people who are, trying to find their way as well with being pregnant and having epilepsy. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope to make another video soon, and I hope this helps some people out. Thank you.